Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Nung last week, kumakanta kami ng last Wednesday of the month. Ngayon naman po, first Wednesday of the month. At ngayon po ay June, Hunyo. Ayan, buwan ng mga gwapo at magaganda. Lahat ng mga ipinanganak sa June ay gwapo at magaganda. Ang tututol, pangit. Magandang hapon po. Ito po si DJ Ronnie. Kasama ko po ang buong pangkat ng Inklinasyon. Siyempre, I am here live and alive dito po sa Park Home sa Adelaide, Australia. At ang kasama ko po ngayong hapon ay live and alive din. Madaling araw, ginising namin na naman. From the United States of America, si Congresswoman Celia Garcia. Magandang hapon, ma'am. Magandang hapon.
Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat.
Magandang umaga sa iyo. Oo, grabe mukhang masaya dyan sa Amerika. Nagbabatuhan na si Biden at saka si Trump. Oo, they are throwing rocks at each other. Yun daw isa
Noon pa yan?
Noon pa ba? Hindi kasi sabi nila, ma'am, yun daw isa yung anak. Yun namang isa yung mismong siya. Kaya ang sabi daw dyan, ang magnanakaw galit sa kapwa, magnanakaw. pero hindi, masaya ang politika, ma'am. Dito rin sa Australia, election din, pero next year naman sabay natin. Dito mabagal ang takbo ng ekonomiya, nagkaroon na nga ng report ngayon lang, no? Pero dire-diretso pa rin, Miss Celia, at alam mo ang mga persons with autism dito at saka ibang intellectual with disabilities ay nangangamba sapagkat napakalaki ng bawas ng kanilang suporta, no? Ngayong taong ito, rather nung nakaraang taon, gumastos ang gobyerno ng Australia ng 40 billion Australian dollars para sa mga pangailangan ng Australians with disabilities, no? Yan ay katumbas ng natutulungan nila na 500,000 Australians with disabilities. Ang sinasabi rito, ma'am, ay 4 na milyon ang naka-record sa kanilang Australians with disabilities. So, at 500,000 yung natutulungan ng kanilang National Disability Insurance System. Yan, isa sa mga kwento natin. Pero alam mo, diyan sa atin sa Pilipinas, Ma'am Celia, may magandang may magandang practice na ginagawa. Yung mga camp ba, halimbawa, natandaan ko nung bata ako, ma'am, bagay bata pa naman ako, nung maliit pa ako, ma'am, nasali ako diyan sa ang tawag Akap Pag-ibig, no? Ito yung camp na sa loob ng 1 linggo, parang ma'am, ikaw ay mapupunta doon sa foster parent for 1-2 weeks. Oo, 2 weeks, ma'am, yun, 2 weeks. Tapos,
ano yan,
sa School for the Blind? School for the Blind, yes, ma'am. Oo. At napakasarap din ng experience na talagang halos talagang ayaw kang tigilan sa pagkain, pagising sa umaga. Talagang halos talagang ibinibigay sa iyo yung lahat, dahil sa kanila, sa mga nanay, tatay namin, pansamantala, para bagang gumagaan daw yung puso nila pag nakakatulong sila sa mga may kapansanan. Para bagang
ilang araw yun, Ronel?
At yung pong experience ko 2 weeks po yun. From December 16 hanggang January 5. So doon po kami
doon kami nagpapasko.
Doon kami nagpapasko. Oho. At ito ma'am yung ating isa sa pag-uusapan. At ito po ay ginagawa sa mga persons with intellectual disabilities. At para siguro po para mas mahaba-haba ang ating kwentuhan, pakipakilala nyo na po ang ating mga panauhin ngayong araw na ito, Ma'am Celia.
Okay, magandang hapon po dyan sa inyong lahat. It's a pleasure to have these 2 guests with us. At unahin po nating ipakilala, ilang beses na din po nating nakasama itong ating magandang panauhin na ito. Pero kailangan po nating i-refresh ang inyong memory. Ipakikilala po natin siya ulit. Si Miss Roslyn Marie Sorongon. Siya po ay MA Ed SPED at Siblings Camp Facilitator as of now. Si Miss Rosalyn Marie Hison Sorongon, or Teacher Mai, earned her master's degree in education, major in special education from the University of the Philippines in Diliman. She was a former director at the Center for Autism and Related Disorders in Las Piñas City and former member of the Education Committee of Autism Society Philippines, where she was specifically involved in the early detection and early intervention program of the organization. Her professional career as specialist teacher started with her experience as an ABA, or Applied Behavior Analysis, practitioner to Filipino children with autism under the supervision of a trained ABA professional from California, USA. So, marami pong training ang ating panauhin na ito at decades of experience po ang kanyang pagtuturo sa mga batang may autismo at pagtulong sa kanilang mga pamilya sa pamamagitan po ng orientations and trainings to parents and professionals on autism and other developmental disabilities and sa home management program nila. Consultant din po siya ng Northfield Foundation on their home-based program for indigent Filipino children. Tek muna, nawala ako. At ang kanilang mga pamilya sa iba't ibang parte ng ating country. She was part of the research team who conducted researches on Down syndrome, namely the situations of Filipinos with Down syndrome in selected areas of the Philippines, as well as determinants of employability of persons with Down syndrome, both commissioned by Norphil and funded by the foreign partners. So hindi lamang po autismo, hindi ang kanya pong kaalaman ay tungkol din sa Down syndrome. At ang isa po at kanya pong malaking source ng achievement at fulfillment ay ang kanyang role ngayon as facilitator of Siblings Camp or SIBS Camp, a support group activity for siblings of persons with disability. At ito po ang ating pag-uusapan mamaya. Hello, Miss Mai. Maraming salamat po sa iyong pagsama sa aming muli. Good afternoon po. Okay. Ang next guest po natin ay si Miss Leslie Abigail Tan. Siya po ay kapatid or sibling ng isang adult on the autism spectrum. And isa po siyang fourth-year law student at the San Beda Alabang School of Law. She is second among 4 siblings. At ang kanya pong nakatatandang kapatid ay isang 37-year-old adult with autism. Leslie, along with her siblings, have been active members of the Autism Society of Philippines since her mother, the current president of the ASP Lagro chapter, has been dedicated to the organization. So, hindi lang ho yung sila magkakapatid, kung hindi yung buong pamilya ho nila dahil yung nanay nga ho niya ay presidente ng ASP Lagro chapter. She has participated in numerous Angels Walks, including an Autism Society Awareness Week activity involving Canon Philippines and the late world-renowned photographer John Chua. She has years of experience under her belt as a siblings camp organizer under the tutelage of Teacher Mai Sorongon, and was a panelist for a training on organizing a siblings camp by Northfield Foundation Incorporated. Hello, Miss Leslie. Welcome to Influence Forum.
Hello, Miss Leslie. Magandang hapon.
Hello po, magandang hapon po sa inyo, Mr. Ronald, Ma'am Celia, and to everyone who's watching, magandang hapon po sa inyo.
And Teacher Mai, magandang hapon. Maraming salamat.
Yes, of course, anytime, Sir Ronald, Ma'am Celia, I'm here again.
Salamat po. At tulad ni Miss Leslie, si Teacher Mai at si Teacher Ranil ay itinalaga ang kanilang mga sarili para paunlarin ang inklunasyon, ang tinig ng Pilipinong may kapansanan. Kaya maraming salamat po sa pamilya ni Karanil at ni Teacher Mai. Ano ho, sa inyong dedikasyon, sa pagmamahal nyo sa sektor ng Pilipinong may kapansanan.
Baka hindi nalalaman ng sa mga hindi nakakaalam sa ating mga audience, si Miss Mai ay better half po o siyang kabiyak ng ating magiting na pundasyon ng inklunasyon, si Karanil Sorongon.
I was about to say, Ma'am Celia, I'm the daughter of Ranil.
Pwede rin.
Pwede rin. But with all due respect sa iyo, Miss Mai, Teacher Mai, kaano muna ako kay Leslie, kung okay lang sa iyo.
Sure, go ahead, sir. No problem.
Miss Leslie, yung brother mo is Shayla, parang panganay sa inyo, ano? Hello, Miss Leslie? Naku, nawawala yata.
Nag-freeze siya.
Oo, kasi medyo malakas po ang ulan sa Pilipinas ngayon. Oo. Okay, habang naka-freeze si Miss Leslie, Teacher Mai, please tell us about this sibling camp. Ano ba to, ma'am? At kailan to nagsimula?
Okay, yeah. Actually, again, good afternoon, Sir Ronel and Ma'am Celia. Glad to be back here. Glad to be back. No, but just like what I said, every Wednesday, I get myself to sit down and watch Inclination. Okay, so how did it start, no, the SIBS camp? In fact, this started po, well, for one, no, you were asking a while ago, Sir Ronel, SIBS camp actually is a form of support group activity for siblings. No? So there can be other activities, no, of sibling support group, but this is one of those. Okay, it's just that it has been highlighted, no, if I may use that word, no, dahil nga taon-taon ginagawa to simula I think around 2009, no, taon-taon siya ginagawa every summer. Kaya nga ang sabi, kaya ang sabi nga pag nadinig nila yung camp, no, instead of versus sibling support group, hindi ma-appeal sa mga bata. Pero pag sinabi mo, may camping tayo, quote-unquote camping tayo, mas naiengganyo sila sumama, no. Now,
layas. Outing.
Correct. Layas. Maski man lang it's an overnight, no? But for them, the thought of living temporarily away from their reality, it gives them so much, it's not just simply pleasure, but a breathing space for them, if I may say so. So again, SIBS camp is a form of sibling support. It's a form of sibling support activity. Now, how did it started? Again, just like what I said, the first SIBS camp was way back 2009. It was in fact around 2008 when I graduated from the master's program of UP Diliman. That's College of Education. My thesis at the time was on adult siblings of persons with autism. Okay, so nakagraduate na. Now, two people challenged me. Okay, sino to? First is, I'd like to mention my husband, Ranil, no? Sabi ni Ranil sa akin, ngayon, tapos ka na, graduate ka na, so anong gagawin mo dun sa thesis mo? Hahayaan mo na lang bang maalikubukan sa library ng kolehiyo, di ba?
Correct.
Number two, the other person who in a way encouraged me was Ma'am Risa Cansanay. I'm pretty sure you know. Ma'am Risa Cansanay, the former president of Autism Society Laguna chapter, who by the way is also in the US right now. They migrated already there to be, in fact, they're in San Francisco. Okay. When she learned that I was done with my graduate studies and my thesis was mainly on adult siblings of persons with autism, she sat down with me and said, you might want to help our chapter, because although we have been doing, this so-called support group with the siblings, but there's no exact structure or system. Perhaps you can help us come up with a more definite structure, no? Put your inputs in it, and then we'll see how we can come up. That's why in fact, prior to SIBS camp, there was another how do you call it, name that we were thinking, no? But then, sabi namin, baka anong tawag doon? Ma-issue tayo ng patenting ba tawag doon? No? Kasi baka kopya. It's actually coming from the US. It's called Sib Shop. Okay, Sib Shop. Parang kala mo naman, it's shortcut for siblings workshop. Sabi namin, sige, tayo naman, we're gonna do it through camping. Sib Camp, shortcut for siblings camp. Yeah. So that's how it started. That's the history of Sib Camp po.
Okay, ilan ang unang, ayoko sabi experimental, ilan yung unang mga sumali dito sa Sibs Camp?
That was a lot because it was Laguna chapter at that time. Plus the fact that I think the edge of Laguna chapter at that time, the families, they knew each other very well already. So it was so easy to invite the other children, meaning the siblings of persons with autism, okay? The brothers and sisters. Ang dali, no? Ang daling imbitahin. Plus, sinama pa yung mga, I think, cousins, but mostly it was brothers and sisters. So we were a lot. I think we were, hindi ko alam, siguro mga 25 ba? Dami. Dami siya.
So itong camp na to, Teacher Mai, ay hindi lang para sa mga may kapansanan o may mga autismo, taong may autismo, kung hindi, pati yung mga kamag-anak nila.
Yes. In fact, this camp is mainly for siblings of persons, well, at the time, of course, with autism, but right now it's with disability. It's specifically for them because just like what I said a while ago, ito ay isang activity na kala mo siya ay form of sibling support group. If we have parent support group, wherein often they gather in one place, pinag-uusapan nila kung ano man yung mga issues and concerns nila. It's the same also for siblings. It's just that we make it fun, we make it more inviting. Kaya tinawag namin siblings camp. And camping because the fact that it's an overnight, no, there were some chapters who would do even 3 days and 2 nights, no? May semblance a little bit of camping siya. Kaya it makes it inviting, no? Makes it really inviting, encouraging, no? Motivating for the siblings to really join, no? To really join.
So ano-ano ang mga itinuturo mo dito, ma'am? At ano ang mga isa o dalawang gauge of success ninyo sa mga ganitong activities?
Okay. Well, the Sibs Camp, the way I describe it, Sir Ronel and Ma'am Celia, para siyang, I call it like a safe space for the siblings. Kasi ito yung pagkakataon nila na pwede nilang ibahagi anything and everything about being a sister or brother of a person. For this matter, with autism, kasi nga it started with Autism Society Philippines, okay? This is a safe space for them. Anything that they can think of, anything that they feel, they can express it. Of course, we do it through activities, no? Okay. And they are always guaranteed that whatever they say, whatever they express will just retain in that so-called safe space, no? It doesn't.
So parang what you see, what you hear, leave it here.
Yes,
parang ganyan.
Correct.
Ma'am Celia, yes ma'am, please.
Saan ginagawa usually ito, yung siblings camp nyo?
Okay. Yeah, there are some, no, just at least Ate Leslie Tan is now back here, Sir Ronel, no. For their case, well, thank you to their very generous parents, no. They have their place in Tagaytay, no. But usually for the other chapters, okay, they find places. How do I describe it? Parang it's like, imagine, Ma'am Celia, I know it's in the US has a lot of this. I'm pretty sure in Australia also. They have here in the Philippines, maritime places here wherein it's good for team building. So try to imagine when you go to that place, ang lawak niya. There's so much outdoor space, no? Because it's basically for youth, mga team building activities. And then they have I'm trying to imagine, I'm trying to recall, no? May mga parang kalamot dorm yan, tapos may mga mess hall, which I always tell, siko shucks, parang kaming nasa abroad. Well, I hope they are still open, right? Because I don't know what happened to them during pandemic, but I hope we still have places like this. For some naman po, to make it more private, if I may say so, there are certain chapters, they would rent a house, usually, of course, definitely this is out of town. Mga bahay, usually sa, how do you call it, It's in mga Laguna, yung mga hot springs ba yan? Mga houses, and then they have...
Pansol siguro, mga resort.
Yan, mga ganon. Houses, and then they have pools. Kasi for some reason, when siblings know that there's a swimming pool or a place for them to swim, talaga namang engganyo yan sumali. No?
Okay.
Makahatak mo talaga eh. Oh.
All right, very good. Syempre ang gusto kong mamaya tatanungin ko si Ate Leslie, yung gang safe space ano. Kasi hindi alam ng marami. Ewan ko, siguro Ma'am Celia can confirm this or na ang daming angst ng mga miyembro ng mga kamiyembro ng isang tao may kapansanan sa isang pamilya. At napakaganda nito para mag-release sila ng kanilang nasa sa loob, no? Dahil akala nila ganun kadali. Akala nila you know, yung mga outsider kasi ang daming misconceptions na hindi nila naintindihan na kasama mo 24 hours itong ganitong miyembro na may kapansanan, lahat kayo nag-a-adjust, lahat kayo kasali sa problema. Itong mga ito ay lahat ay nabibigyang pansin diyan sa ganyang pagtitipon. Tama ba, Teacher
Yes,
Mike?
correct, Sir Ronel. You're able to perfectly describe what exactly happens during a SIBS camp. No? That's why usually the first day, what we do the first day, it's what we call mga puros icebreakers lang. We want them to be comfortable not only with each other but with their own self also, because there's a certain time, no, wherein we will give them, of course, through a certain mga methodology or techniques, no, wherein we let them share, no, although they are not forced, okay, but we let them share a portion of their life if they want to, or certain issues that they are going through, no, or concerns. And I'd like to, of course, we will hear more about that, no, from Ate Leslie Tan. What we always tell them, okay, this is based also on my experience. What we always tell them, whatever emotions they have, just lay it out, no? Ilabas niyan, because nobody will be judging them. No? So if they're angry, they're upset, they're annoyed, sometimes they feel like parang sasakalin na nila, okay lang, perfectly fine. Because
alam mo ito ano eh. Oo. Napakaganda rin kasi halimbawa, yung caregivers. Meron akong kausap na mga kaibigan dati na quadriplegic, ano. Sila, ang tingin nila sa caregivers, bahagi ng katawan nila. So gusto na nilang matulog ng caregiver, ayaw pa nilang matulog. So dapat gising din yung caregiver. Kung minsan ganun din ba ang tendency dapat ng mga may mga miyembrong pamilya na with may intellectual disability? May mga ganun bang bahagi?
Ronel.
Yes, Ma'am Celia. Oo.
Gusto ko lang sanang sumagot, ano. And this is from the point of view of well, a parent, family member of a person with disability. Kasi we always tell our people who we meet na hindi dapat bigyan ng special na trato yung mga persons with disabilities. Tratuhin nyo sila ng parang regular para hindi naman sila pakiramdam ay kinakaawaan o kailangan tulungan. But that's what really happens. Yung in reality, hindi kailangan bigyan natin ng tulong yung ating mga kamag-anak o miyembro ng pamilya na may disabilities because hindi sila natin kapareho. Meron silang mga pangangailangan na iba sa atin. And that is, kailangan natin yung tanggapin. Hindi yon stigma, hindi yon pangungutya, hindi
kundi ang reality.
Oo, but this is the reality. Kailangan din talaga. And ang epekto nun, hindi lamang sa mga bata, sa mga anak, mga kapatid, kung hindi sa, well, in the family also, pati extended family, ang laki ng epekto niyan at yung kailangan nating malaman first hand dito sa ating tatanunging magandang dalaga.
Ma'am Leslie, you're back.
Yes, sorry.
Yes.
Apologies. Sabi ko nga maulan kasi dito.
No, it's okay. Now, si Kuya si Kuya Bok. Bok ang tawag niyo, di ba? Kay anong first name nga ng brother mo?
Virgil Alexis, si
Oh,
Kuya.
si Virgil, si Virgil ay kailan na-discover ng mga magulang mo na meron siyang autism?
Maagang nalaman ng parents ko na he is in the spectrum kasi di ba meron tayong pag mga bata, meron tayong mga developmental stones wherein like they know na dapat nagsasalita na at this age. Dapat he's able to convey some emotions at this age. So, my parents noticed na parang bakit hindi pa siya nagsasalita? Bakit
Ilang
hindi
taon
pa
yon? Ilang taon yon, Leslie?
I
Kasi
think he
mahalaga
was
yun.
around 3 or 4 or 5 na po yata yun, I think, at that time.
Okay.
Na yun, nanonotice na nila bakit parang hindi siya nagsasalita. He doesn't make sounds. And if ever he does make sounds, hindi siya yung typical na na ginagawa ng mga bata. So parang they consulted yung pedia niya. Wherein, doon naman din nila na you should maybe perhaps take your son to a specialist.
Okay, dahil ang pinag-uusapan natin sibling, mga kamag-anak ng mga tao may kapansanan, ilang taon ang tanda sa iyo ni Virgil?
Kuya is 5 years older than I am.
Okay. So, ano ang agad itinuro sa iyo ng iyong mga magulang? Kasi siyempre nauna siya. Siguro 2 taon, 3 taon maglalaro na kayo, di ba?
Yes.
Or paano kayo ipinaglapit ng mga magulang mo kasi siyempre may autismo yung kuya mo, tapos ikaw ay wala namang kapansanan. Paano kayo pinaglapit at paano ginawa ng mga magulang mo na hindi mo siya kagagalitan, hindi kanya kaiiyamutan, ganon? Paano yun?
Actually, that's a very funny question para sa akin na sibling ng person with autism. Kasi as a child, hindi siya kaiba sa akin. If you guys understand, parang
tama yun.
Para sa akin, it was normal that he was like that.
Right.
It wasn't specifically said sa akin ng parents ko na may special needs yung kapatid mo, meron siyang kailangan ganito, kailangan ganyan. Wala kaming naging ganong setup. So, all this time, whatever antics na ginagawa ng brother ko, yung making sounds, I thought it was normal. Although my mom and my dad told me, yes, boy, Sir Ronel.
Kasi yun ang nakagisnan mo. Kaya akala mo, okay yun, di ba? At
exactly.
maganda yung pananaw mo, kapatid, na wala naman wala namang kakaiba yun ng kapatid ko eh. Bakit ba? Ano ba sinasabi niyong kakaiba? Tama yun. Kaya ang tanong ko sa'yo, paano ka naimulat o paano nung malaman mo, nga pala, meron palang kapansanan ng kapatid ko. May nagbago ba o mas lalo mo bang minahal o lalo mo iningatan mo ba yung pakikitungo mo sa kapatid mo?
It was more of like me being more aware on how to act.
Okay.
Kasi, as I've said, hindi nga, parang sa akin normal lahat ng ginagawa niya. When I noticed, and when, yun nga, napapansin ko na, hindi pala ganun yung kapatid nung iba. Hindi pala special child or hindi pala person with autism yung mga kapatid nung iba. So, iba pala yung kapatid ko. When I noticed that, parang mas naging protective ako. Mas naging conscious ako.
Okay.
With regard to my sibling.
Okay. Tapos, yung sinabi mong protective, ano yun? Medyo iningatan mo siya sa iba, tapos anong mga ayaw mo na ginagawa ng ibang tao sa kapatid mo?
Siguro, when people like, yung talagang napapatigil sila. Because my brother speaks only strictly in English. Tapos, my brother dresses up ng naka-corporate attire, as in complete with a coat and tie.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it doesn't matter where. We go to the beach, we go to Boracay, he's wearing it. So
Okay.
people will stare.
Oo.
People will stare, people will stop and look, bakit, bakit parang, ba't nakaganon siya, di ba? So parang, maybe that's one pet peeve. Hindi naman siya something na naiirita ko or something. Pet peeve lang na parang, bakit first time nyo bang nakakita ng naka-coat and tie? Yun lang naman. Pero
So,
yes.
paano ninyo preserve yung kanyang self-esteem at paano ninyo how did you hold your family as one and strengthen the love for your brother with autism?
What I love about my family, Sir Ronel, Celia, and Chermay, is that very supportive. It doesn't mean parang supportive lang sa kuya namin. Supportive ang parents ko sa amin din magkakapatid. So, whatever we want to do, talagang nakatutok lang din sila and they just guide you. And this is what we always do then with kuya. Pag sinabi ni brother or ni kuya na gusto niyang suotin to, okay, you do your thing or you do that. You want to wear the tie? You wear the tie. We allow
Correct.
him to do what he wants to do and support it.
So, nirerespeto ninyo yung gusto niya. And
Exactly.
in a way, Ma'am Celia, that is the essence of nothing about us without us, di ba?
Okay. Meron lang sana akong okay, sige Ronel, tapusin mo lang.
Kung ano yung gusto ng mga may kapansanan, igagalang natin yon bago natin sitahin or bago nating supilin. Igagalang natin yung gusto ng may kapansanan. Ma'am Celia?
Okay. Bigay ko lang yung aking pananaw, ano? Kasi yung mga batang may kapatid na may kapansanan, magkakaiba yung kanilang pagtingin sa kanilang kapatid. Depende doon sa kanilang posisyon doon sa bahay. Like kung panganay ka or mas bata ka, iba yung nararamdaman mo eh. Magkakaiba sila ng pag-regard doon sa kanilang sibling. Like usually pagka eldest ka, ikaw yung panganay, very protective ka and early on alam mo na kaagad na merong pangangailangan yung kapatid mo na hindi maibibigay ng iba at baka ikaw lang yung pwedeng magbigay, like yung friendship, yung love, you know. Samantalang yung mga batang mas maliliit na sabi nga ni Leslie, hindi niya nakita agad na may diferensya yung kapatid niya sa ibang mga bata kasi yun lang yung nakikita, siya lang ang nakikita mo eh. Whereas yung panganay, alam mo na agad na may difference. Etong bata, nakikita mo kaagad na this is what it is. Kaya baka mas tatanggapin mo kaagad pero na pareho lang kayo, pantay lang kayo, which is very very nice, very good for the family kasi nga tinatrato mo ng sabi nga natin normal, na regular yung bata, hindi special. And importante ito doon sa batang may kapansanan kasi hindi siya binibigyan ng tratong parang iba. Pero mahirap din doon sa batang maliit, sa mas nakababata. Kasi nga, parang kailangan niyang, it's not always that easy. Hindi ganun kadali. Oo, natratuhin mo siya ng pareho mo. Dahil nga meron
tama
siya.
yun. Tama yun, Ma'am Celia. Kaya nga siguro, dito po pumapasok yung SIBS camp na inorganisa ni
Yan ay malaking tulong. Yes.
Oo. So, paano ka na-involved dito if I may go to that directly, Ma'am Leslie? Paano ka na-involved dito sa SIBS camp at bakit ka na-motivate na lumubog dito sa magandang support group na to?
Ayan. Paano nga ba ako nasama sa SIBS camp namin? So as mentioned earlier, my mother is currently still the AFP Lagra chapter president. At yun nga, bata pa lang kami, exposed na kami dun sa activities ng mother ko. Sasabihin niya oh, meron akong pupuntahan, may talk kami with ASP. Or when she gets invited as a speaker, nandun din kaming lahat. Karay-karay niya yung buong pamilya, manonood kaming lahat doon. So, maaga pa lang, nakakarinig na
Alam
ako
mo
ng
na.
mga lectures natin, ng mga seminars natin. Alam ko na yung mga ganyan-ganyan, yung mga spectrum natin. I already know of those already. So, ang mom din, oh, may talk kami ganito, ganyan-ganyan. Tapos, and then, yun na nga, parang Miss Mai, si Teacher Mai, tsaka si mother ko, was in talks of having a siblings camp na dahil yung other chapters, they already have established sibs camp. And us being, as the only remaining chapter in Quezon City, sabi ng mommy, siguro, pwede na tayong mag-start din ng sibs camp with the help of Teacher Mai. So, syempre, sino ba ang una niyang itatap? Syempre, ako na kaagad yung una niyang naisip. Sabi niya, ate, pwede ka bang sumama? Tuturuan ka naman ni Teacher Mai, and then, the next couple of years, ikaw na ang organizer. So, parang, nose dive na ako sa siblings camp.
Okay.
First siblings camp ko pa lang, tinuruan na ako ni Teacher Mai. And at the same time, I was a participant. So, yun na. Doon na ako nagsimula. And then, the rest is history. Taon-taon na available ang siblings camp.
Anong pakiramdam ng unang matapos yung camp? Ano ang mga na-release mo? Isa o dalawang na-release mo na nagpalakas sa iyo na nagdire-diretso ka sa pag-organize at sa paglubog sa SIBS camp?
What I like about SIBS camp is nakakakita ka ng mga taong naghahanap din ng tulong. Because you're all in the same boat. Pare-parehas kayong may kapatid na special. And there's something about meeting people na parehas na kayo ng parehas kayo ng problema, parehas kayo ng iniisip, parehas kayo ng issues. And
so
secondary na yung masaya. You get to meet people.
Right. Teacher Mai, paano ho natin inaalalayan yung mga sandali na, I mean, were there moments na may mga hard revelations? So how do we handle those situations?
Yeah. Thank you for that, for bringing that up, no? Because that's why, can I just go back, so in answering your question, Sir Ronel, I'll go back to your question a while ago wherein you were asking me, can you just give me two gauge of success, no? For you to say that this is, the result is really good, no? The result of the SIBS camp is really good. Okay. One of my gauge of success, again, in relation to your question right now, how do we handle yung mga pagkakataon na medyo medyo mabigat na, no? May linalabas ng medyo mabigat, may pinagdadaanan na yung sibling participant. Okay. The fact that there are now sibling facilitators, sibling organizers, just like Leslie, that in itself already is one of the big factors to say that the camp is working out. No, it's on its right track, and it's also crucial to have a sibling facilitator because Ate Leslie mentioned it already. At least meron na silang common. There's a common denominator among between the sibling facilitator and the sibling participant because both of them do have a brother or sister with disability. Okay. And that helps already so much. In fact, I'll be really honest, okay? Because they know me that's why sometimes I tell the organizers, like the chapter heads, don't introduce me as a teacher because for some reason, I don't know parang lahat sila parang ay teacher. So iba yung dating iba yung dating parang there's an authoritarian quote unquote joining our
meron agad wall, may wall agad.
That's why we always use the word ate and kuya. Okay. Now if they ask the background, then that's the only time that I will tell them the information that aside from being a facilitator, I'm also a teacher. No, but let's go back to what I was highlighting a while ago, the importance of having a sibling facilitator or a sibling organizer. It matters a lot because ayun nga, binanggit ko na pag may safe space, the safe space includes that there's a sibling facilitator who can definitely not just sympathize, because I can do that, but I cannot empathize, no? But here comes the sibling facilitator who went through exactly what the sibling participant is also going through. So they make that instant connection. So there are instances wherein, and I do tell this to Ate Les and the other sibling co-FACs, also co-facilitators. If we feel that there are some participants who need more help, okay lang na after our group session, mag one-on-one kayo. And true enough, sibling participants will really go to the sibling facilitator kasi alam nila, nakakonect si ate sa akin, nakakonect si kuya sa akin. So, when I see that, when we see that, we allow them to have a one-on-one with their ates or with their kuyas.
Okay. Mamaya, pagbalik ko sa'yo, Teacher Mai, may bayad ba yung mga SIB camps na yan? Kasi napaka-importante na ito'y ginagawa, no, ha? At nakikita namin ay yung halaga nito, no? Pero sa pagbalik ko sa iyo mamaya, gaano ba kamahal yan? At ano ba mga requirements para sumali diyan? Pero Leslie, ate, anong mga discoveries mo na pwede mong i-share sa amin? Good discoveries and not so good discoveries, kung okay lang sa iyo.
Discoveries sa mga naging SIBS camp participants natin or during the SIBS camp?
Kung ano yung pwedeng i-share. Either
both, actually.
Please go ahead.
Maraming I've encountered siblings na may mga hinanakit. Because
ano mga hinanakit nila? Bakit? Ba't sila galit?
Because
ba?
Diba meron nga tayong, we have this notion na special nga yung kapatid mo. So your parents sometimes tend to give a bit more attention sa kanila.
Bakit siya na lang lagi? Bakit hindi ako? Di ba ako, member din ako ng pamilyang to? Bakit siya lang lagi? Parang ganyan.
Something like that. Yan yung mga na-encounter ko. Mostly ganyan. Parang, usually this comes from younger ones. Yung mga, yung mga mas bata talaga. Because we do not have that much restriction sa age ng mga join sa atin. Pero, yung mga na-encounter ko, gano'n. Parang, anak din naman ako. Parang gano'n. Yun yung usual, very much usual na na-encounter ko. And yung nila, one other thing is yung future. Yung mga doubts nila sa future, yung mga mabibigat nilang problems with regard to taking care of their sibling na may autism in the future. Kasi 'di ba? Our parents are not always going to be there.
At saka ikaw
mag-asawa
later,
sino
diba?
ang susunod, diba?
Right,
so yan naman din ang problems ng mga na-encounter ko or issues ng mga na-encounter ko from the older siblings.
And what do you tell them?
Very prangka kasi akong tao. I'm someone who will tell you na you have to internalize. Ano bang gusto mong gawin? Ito bang gagawin mo na to? Meron ka bang mahihingan ng tulong? Because you don't have to, you don't have to carry everything by yourself. That's why we have the SIBS camps din. Parang, ang sinasabi ko lang sa kanila, if it ever gets too overwhelming para sa'yo, you ask help. Because there will be people who will be trying to help. Una-una na dyan si Ate Mai.
Hindi, teka muna. Paano nga yun? Kung, siguro pardon the description, pero baka kayo mga well-off, diba? Pero paano yung mga mahihirap talaga na ito lang ang inaasahang mag-iintindi sa kapatid niya? Diba? Paano yun? Anong sinasabi? Kanino ko hihingi ng tulong? Hirap na nga kami . Sino pang hihingan ko ng tulong?
And Ronel, dudugtungan ko lang yung sinabi mo na yan. Kasi not all families would have kids na pareho ni Leslie na ganun nga na well-oriented sa mga pangangailangan. sa nature ng disability ng kanilang mga kapatid. Karamihan, most of the families that we have with persons with disabilities, wala talaga silang kaalam-alam yung mga kapatid, parang walang pakialam. So, yung nangyayari sa kanila na yung mga nararamdaman nila about this the sibling with disability would range from yung resentment, dahil nga, bakit ba ako hindi pinapansin ng aking mga magulang? And we call that, yung
Alam mo,
class siblings. Ibig
Isa pa-
sabihin, tinitingnan, parang yun daw mga magulang, they look right through the children, at ang nakikita lang ay yung may kapansanan. Napapabayaan, nanineglect yung mga, and yun, nagkakaroon sila ng resentment. So this is very natural for kids with siblings na may disability.
Ito rin, Leslie, isang concrete example. Yung boardmate ko dito sa amin ngayon, meron siyang pamangkin, dalawa, isang may autism, isang wala, no. Yung walang autism, yung walang kapansanang miyembro na kapatid ng may autism, umalis sa bahay. Tinanong, bakit ka umalis? I want freedom, I want independence. I have my own life to attend to. Paano yung kapatid mo? Andiyan mga magulang ko. Ba't ko siya iintindihin? Kapatid ko lang siya. I have my own life. Paano gagawin doon, Ma'am Leslie?
Sir Ronel, Ma'am Sel, okay lang if it's Teacher Mike, if I may
yes,
answer.
Please.
Yeah, okay. That's the reason why the ideal setting, okay, as we help the parents, it's like how do you call it? Like a twin track approach. We help the siblings, and then at the same time we help also the other children who do not have disabilities or the typical children. So sabay silang tinutulungan, because just like right now, throwing all those questions, I'm trying to recall also how did we handle yung mga pagkakataon na we are also confronted with these situations, with these questions that you are throwing us. Kasi talagang nadaanan din namin yan ni Ate Leslie, even in other chapters. No? So that's the ideal. Habang tinutulungan ng magulang, sana tinutulungan din sana yung mga ibang anak na walang kapansanan. Because you've said it already, Sir Ronel, a while ago. Okay, an impairment does not affect only that person who is diagnosed and the parents. It affects the entire family. So help ought to be given to the entire family. So I'll segue now to tapping. Parang medyo malayo siya, but it's true. It's true because I've witnessed it, in fact, with the Lagro chapter. No, that's the chapter headed by Ate Leslie's mommy, si Mamayat. Okay. This is where now the government comes into the picture, because it's true, Ma'am Celia, Sir Ronel, hindi laging makakahingi tayo ng donation. There's also donor fatigue. That's why
correct.
Teacher Maya, I'll get back to you because I'd like to know how much. May expenses still got to come up with this one. And I'm telling you, this is just one of the activities, ideally sana, of a sibling support group, the SIBS camp. But there ought to be a lot of activities for them, okay? But this is where the government comes in, okay? And I've witnessed this in the ASP Lagro chapter. Mamayat, okay, whenever they have activities such as for siblings, okay, she always gets to tap, correct me if I'm wrong, Ate Leslie, she always taps their barangay, no? Yung barangay captain, basically their local, their barangay there, their barangay captain, their barangay, the mga councilors dyan, no?
Yes.
And it's her time also, no? It's an opportunity for her also to speak about autism, no? Just for them to understand as to why they are doing this kind of activity, the SIBS camp, no? So papasok na dyan yung there's going to be like an awareness. So parang may advocacy na siya. Because if they get to understand what is being done and they realize that, oo nga naman, no? This typical children is part of our community also. Therefore, if we are thinking of health, it ought not to be limited only to those with disabilities, to their parents, but it's basically the entire family. So again, I've witnessed it with Lagro chapter. Whenever they have activities, such as the SIBS camp, you know that you can count that their barangay is able to contribute something. Be it libreng transportation, be it contribution sa food. Kasi medyo malaki din yata ang budget pag nagpapakain ka ng mga, lalo na pag teenagers, di ba? May breakfast, lunch, dinner, may snacks yan, may midnight snack pa yan. Camping eh. Camping siya. Tsaka talagang malakas ang kain yan, no? So these are the things, no? Simple lang yun, but I think what I'm trying to drive at here, it's important, no, for the parent support groups or parent organizations to always tap also the government, because again, we've learned that the government, they are the duty bearers, no? So
ilang araw usually
Yes.
usually itong camping na to?
Okay, kadalasan yan overnight, pero kung kaya po ng budget, there's one chapter in the past, ginagawa nilang 3 days and 2 nights.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alam mo ang gusto ko lang i-point out, Ma'am Celia, Teacher Mai, Ate Leslie, hindi lang ito pwede sa mga tao may autismo. Alam mo yung mga magulang na may anak na bulag, may anak na deaf, napakaganda rin kung may ganitong camp, no, na ginagawa.
Ronel,
Yes,
meron
bro.
na actually tayong inumpisahan na ganyan. Ang nag-spearhead ay PAVIC at ito ay ginagawa nila with yung kila sa La Union.
Right.
Yung
Kila Eva.
kasama oo.
Yes.
Kila Eva, Teacher Eva, na talagang mga bulag na mga bata naman na may kapansanan sa mata. Dahil yun ay napakahirap talagang bigyan ng suporta. Kaya this is a very nice undertaking na talagang groundbreaking dahil ngayon na lang mangyayari. Umpisa na nila ito sa La Union. We hope for other disabilities na nangangailangan pa din ay magawa natin itong model.
Iyon, very good. At saka itong SIBS camp ni alam mo,
Yes.
meron akong present na paper, Teacher Mai. Sinabi mo kasi yung gobyerno, di ba?
Opo.
May present akong paper dito sa Australia. Sabi ng teacher ko, bakit ganyan? Bakit napakaliit ng ginagawa niyo for persons with disabilities? Yun ho yung reality sa Pilipinas eh. Yun po yung nangyayari. 'Di ba? Kahit anong pilit mo, parang ang napakamanhid pa ng gobyerno natin sa katotohanan. Kasi sabi ko nga doon sa guro ko, noong 1974, ang utang natin, $24 billion lang. Yun ang sinasabi, walang pondo for the project. Ngayon, $15 trillion na yung utang natin, wala pa rin pondo. Diba? So, medyo nandoon yung contention. Ngayon, Leslie, dahil bago tayo maubusan ng oras, ito lang, ma'am. Ano usually yung sinasabi mo? Pag yung mga kapwa mo, kasama na may miyembrong may kapansanan din, dumating doon sa dulo ng pasensya, sa dulo ng pag-asa, paano mo nire-revive? O paano nyo nire-revive sa activity ninyo na bumalik siya sa at least in the sense of hope, na merong magandang kinabukasan pa rin in spite of these problems?
Pag ganon na we notice siblings na parang very, very pagod na sila, burned out, and it seems like parang they see no hope, especially na kailangan nilang suportahan yung kapatid nila.
Parang habang buhay ba, ganito na lang.
Yes, yun ang usual na. Actually, I will not lie. Naiisip ko din yan. Parang araw-araw na lang ba ng buhay ko, aalagaan ko yung kapatid ko? And my answer sa sarili kong tanong is always yes. It's always yes. For as long as my brother lives at kaya ko siyang suportahan, I will love him. Ganun na kasi yung naging thinking ko eh. And that's what I tell other people, lalo na yung mga ganyan na mga parang pagod na sila na alagaan yung mga kapatid nila or pagod na silang intindihin yung mga kapatid nila. Just trust in yourself to love your sibling. Kasi wala namang ibang magmamahal dyan sa kapatid mo kundi ikaw.
Yes.
You may ask for help, exactly, di ba?
You
may ask for help, as Ate Mai has said. Meron tayong organizations, very active ang Barangay Greater Lagro. Thank you, Kapitan Leo Gara. Actually, sumali si Kapitan Leo Gara sa Angels Walk natin, yung recent na Angels Walk natin, very active sila. You may ask people for help, pero it's always going to be you it's always going to be you who's going to have to understand. And what we can and what we can give you is support.
Yes.
That's what
Napaka-importante po ng suporta.
Oo, napakahalaga ng support. Teacher Mai?
Napakahalaga ng suporta. Kasi doon ka kakapit eh. Parang, di ba, pag may problema ka, doon ka sa kaibigan mo pupunta. So pag ganito, doon mo sa kapwa mong kapatid pupunta.
Yes. Kahit sabihin mo na habaan mo yung PC mo, mauubos at mauubos din yan eh. So you really need
Let's
support.
be realistic.
Yes.
Correct. Very good. Napakaganda ng discussion, ano? Teacher Ma, would you like to input to that? Paano pag nasa dulo na ako? Paano pag pagod na? Paano pag may support. Magaling kayo dyan. Sa Maynila, may support kayo. Kami dito sa probinsya, halimbawa, wala namang mapala sa aming yung mga kamag-anak, may mga problema din kanila. Paano kaya yun, ma'am?
Several things are coming into my mind, Sir Ronel. No, one is I'll begin here first in the city. Tama nga naman, because there are a lot of services here. When we feel that there's there's a particular sibling, who needs further help. And upon assessing, kasi what we do after, let's say, a session, the team gathers and then we give inputs, based on the sharings, not because pag-uusapan yung buhay, but we are now in a way doing an informal assessment of the siblings as to if there are siblings who might need further help, meaning professional help. So what I did on my end also, because it's one of my responsibilities, for one, even if I finish the course of psychology, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not practicing my counseling because I'm a teacher right now. That's my vocation right now. Okay. So one of the things that I discovered also in doing this, ideally there ought to be a counselor who is part of the team, just in case something happens and there's a professional help that is further needed. We know that there's someone, a counselor is on board to help out. But if not, again, on my end, I have linked up, let's say whenever there's an activity, I do link up the organizations to centers who offer counseling, assuming that the sibling participant is open to counseling. But we know that at least there is. Okay. The others, what about yung sabi mo, Sir Ronel, paano naman dun sa malalayong lugar na meron na rin kami naranasan, really far, that was, I remember, in Northern Samar. Hirap talaga ng buhay doon, pero for some reason, the organization there did their best to organize a SIBS camp, for the children there of people with disabilities, Ang hirap talaga ng buhay nila. Makita mo, isa sila sa mga lugar sa Pilipinas na ang hirap-hirap. What did we do about that? Okay. That's one of the things that I always tell the organizers of this SIB camp whenever they come up with the organizers. Siguraduhin lang po sana nila na tuloy-tuloy yung activities of support group, of gathering always the children, just to follow up. And again, I can't help it but really say again, to always tap their local government for assistance. Kasi again, even if as simple as sabihin mo, sige, one afternoon, I will gather again the sibling participants just to do follow-up, that will also entail money. Bawat galaw, may pera. So they are always encouraged, these organizations to seek support, to tap their local government, may pera, kahit pa paano may budget yan even if they say na, naku, wala kami na budget, but I'm telling you, if one is just persistent, may makukuha't budget yan Hindi ako naniniwala na walang budget, meron at meron yan meron at meron yan, because again, I've seen it already.
Ang magandang,
go ahead, sir.
Ang magandang binhi na binigay nyo ngayon sa ating mga kababayan, may panibagong intervention, SIB camps. Maganda yan, Sapagkat madalas hindi napapansin Ang lagi lang tinitingnan, ang laging pinipicture sa TV, yung bulag na nakatapos ng pag-aaral, para bagang napakalaking bagay na may bulag na nakatapos ng pag-aaral, 'di ba? Pero hindi kahit kailan napakadalang na kaya nakatapos yung bulag dahil sa kanyang kapatid na nagtiyaga sa kanyang magbasa, mga gano'n, dahil sa kanyang ina na nagtiyagang, something like that. Pero itong intervention na pinakita ngayong hapon, napakaganda sapagkat ito tiningnan yung the other side of it, no? Madalas tuwan-tuwa tayo sa mga may kapansanan na nakaka-achieve. Pero sa totoo lang, wala namang extraordinary dun eh. Yun lang media, kami lang nasa media, tuwan-tawa kami ikwento na merong person with autism na itong nagagawa, na you know, yung mga parang something different. Yung tinatawag namin na ableism. Hindi naman ganoon yun eh. But ngayong hapon, ang inyong ipinakita, Leslie, ay isang panibagong intervention na dapat ginagawa at matagal nang ginagawa. At congratulations sa grupo ninyo for this type of interventions. At halimbawang may local government unit na gustong magsimula ng ganito, ilang phase ba to, Teacher Mai? Meron bang phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 itong seed camp o paano ba to ina-approach? Meron bang anong sustainability nito, ma'am?
Okay. Good thing you mentioned that, because when you were asking about the budget, that's one of the things that I should say limitasyon at this point in time, no. One is wala pa kaming what do you call this? A clear-cut module. There you go. Clear-cut module. So that there's a continuity, because usually if I will recall, no, what we've been doing in the past is kumbaga ba ito pa lang yung phase 1. It has been stuck in phase 1. That's why the others also, if they have attended several SIBS camp, no, at alam na nila, they have an idea what's gonna happen already, no, for them is okay, so what can we still look forward to if we keep on attending somehow a similar SIBS camp year in and year out? Okay, so that's one of the limitations right now, and that will entail some form of budget also. No, that's why one of the things, aside from creating a module, a clear-cut module for it, I'd like to be objective about it also, if it does have a huge impact, not only to the family, but basically to our society. Because when you put all these families together, it comes up a big society, you know. I'd like to see the impact of it. If you ask me, Sir Ronel, Ma'am Celia, sana ko may budget funds for research.
Palaging pondo yan eh. Palaging pondo pinag-usapan.
Oo eh. Tsaka, I realize also, whenever you ask for funds, no, diba they will always, lalo na pag nilalapitan ka, especially from the government, they would always ask, show me the numbers. Show me, you know, how effective is your program. Show me the numbers. Give me the numbers. Diba? So parang ako, di sana may research pala to back it up. So, diba? Tama ba, Ma'am Celia? No? So, yes,
pero maganda yan kasi because it's being brought out to the front ngayon, kaya ang dami-dami yung importanteng awareness talaga eh, para pag marami nang nakakaalam, mas marami rin tayong malalaman tungkol dyan sa bagay na yan, and we can help others. But what I just want to say is palagi nating ine-emphasize, Ronel, yung inclusion, but inclusion ay nag-uumpisa sa bahay. Nag-uumpisa it begins with the family. At sino ang pwede nating tulungan kaagad, immediate na kailangan tulungan, ay yung mga pamilya na nakatutok at nakakabit doon sa ating mga batang may kapansanan. Hindi lamang sa pamilya, kung hindi mag-extend nga doon sa komunidad. As we all know, it takes a village to raise a child. Ngayon, paano ba natin sila matutulungan? Kailangan malaman natin kung ano nararamdaman nila. Paano nila ito mailalabas? Paano natin sila mabibigyan ng tamang pananaw? Dahil, tama yung sinabi ni Leslie, talagang ako lang ang pwedeng tumulong sa kapatid ko, but you only say that kasi nag-iisa ka pa lang, wala ka pang asawa. Pero pag nagkapamilya ka na, paano? Prioridad mo na yung sarili mong pamilya. Paano yung kapatid mong may kapansanan? She takes the back seat. Palaging ganyan, yung paanong gagawin natin, and I think that's a very good area na papasok itong support group na ng inyong kampo, hindi lamang sa camps na sinasabi nilang siblings camp, but yung other support services na pwede ninyong maibigay sa mga nangangailangan. Sabi nga ni Ronel, lalo na yung mga mahihirap, lalo na yung mga hindi pwedeng sumama dyan sa kampo na ganyan, walang ibabayad. Paano natin sila matutulungan? Paano natin magagawang isang pamilya at isang lipunan na inklusibo, na inclusive, inclusive ang ating sosyedad, ang ating lipunan, para lahat-lahat tayo ay magsama-sama at mag-umpisa nga ito sa pamilya.
Okay, Leslie, nasa iyo yung pagkakataon to talk to your fellow members, yung family members with disabilities. What's your final message to them, kapatid?
I would just like to say na to you guys na gustong maging mas maging informed about your siblings, reach out to us, and we are actually trying to reach out to you too. Sumali kayo sa mga organizations, read about it, join us, sali kayo sa amin, and we will help you. Yun lang.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, very good. At salamat sa pagiging prangka mo, kapatid, sapagkat yan lang ang nag-iisang susi para matanggap natin yung ano bang meron, di ba? Hindi dapat itinatago. Ang gobyerno tatawagin kung ano-anong pangalan yung mga may kapansanan, wala namang serbisyo, di ba, na binibigay. So, oo, kaya alam mo, tuwan-tuwa ako sa mga bakla. Ang mga bakla, nagtatawagan sila, "Hoy, bakla, bakla." O, di ba? Pero ang resulta nun, ang dami na nilang nagagawa at halos dumadami sila kahit hindi sila nanganganak. Bakit? Kasi tinatanggap nila yung kanilang kalagayan at yung limitasyon nila, kaya malakas sila ngayon. Kaya siguro yung ating mga magulang na ayaw pa ring tanggapin na meron silang anak na may kapansanan, di ba, Teacher Mai? Yung mga iba na wag naman sanang bulag ang tawag nyo, blind na lang, ganon. So yung mga ganong pagtatago sa sarili, hindi makakatulong yon. Teacher Mai, your message to our educators, to our sector, please go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. I've said it before, and I'm going to just say it again, and I will definitely always say it because this is always my battle cry. Again, impairment affects not only the person that is diagnosed, it does not only affect the parents, it affects the entire family. And if we will consider our family, our culture, the Filipino culture, Ma'am Sel is right. Impairment even affects the extended family. So when we offer our help, our services, and when we come up with programs, please think of the entire family. Do not only think of the person that is diagnosed, not only limit it to the parents, but always think also of the other family members, specifically the other children who do not have disabilities, because again, they are often the least recognized in terms of offering support and services. And for professionals, perhaps
Thank you.
Yes. Sige. For professionals also,
No, please go ahead.
Yeah, counselors po, I guess, well, not just only counselors, but who do have a heart also in helping, perhaps this is a challenge for you also to come out and see also the other aspects, of your counseling, perhaps, extend it also to siblings of people with disabilities. And if you do have counselees or people who have brothers or sisters with disabilities whom you are helping, always consider them in the light of their family, Laging yung tatandaan na bahagi sila ng isang pamilya, So, isa yun sa akin sanang battle. Kaya sana, katulad ng sinabi ni Ate Leslie, sali na kayo sa amin para dumami yung tribe namin.
Kailangan talagang palawakin yung ating mga koneksyon.
Exactly.
Magkatulong-tulong.
Pero kailangan din nating i-recognize ang ating mga sponsors. Kaya JM, ang ating mga advertisers. Go ahead, please. Wala pa?
We would like to thank our sponsors and partners, CBM Global Disability Inclusion, Philippine Coalition United Nations Conventions on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities or PCUNCRPD, ENET Philippines, Norphil Foundation, CISO, Philippine Partnership on Children with Disabilities or PPCWD, Liliane Funds, Deaf Blind Support Philippines or DBSP, Philippine Chamber of Massage Industries for the Visually Impaired or PCMIVI, Provincial Government of Batangas, PIDAO Pangasinan, Regional Associations of Women with Disability or RAWWD Region 1, Mabini Movement, and of course, the ASEAN Enabling Master Plan 2025 Coalition. Thank you.
Maraming salamat din po kay Sir Herc at sa buong pangkat ng CBM Global Philippines. Magandang hapon po, Sir Herc, at salamat sa pagtutok ninyo sa inklunasyon. Samantala, muli congratulations kay Leslie at sa buong CIVSCAM family. Napakaganda ng ginagawa ninyo. Saludo ang buong inklunasyon sa inyo. At every month kung meron kayong mga updates, paki-email nyo naman kami. At gusto naming ikwento at isigaw sa buong nasyon ang napakagandang ginagawa ninyo. At tama ho si Leslie. Harapin natin. Huwag nating talikuran. Sapagkat sa pagharap natin, doon lang tayo makakakita ng solusyon. Alam nyo, ang Panginoong Hesus hindi sumuko sa ating mga tao . So bakit natin susukuan ang kapamilya pa naman natin? Tandaan ninyo, ang unang lakas ng mga may kapansanan, ang fondasyon ng lakas ng may kapansanan ay ang kanilang pamilya at ang kanilang pamilya. Ito po si DJ Ronnie sa ngalan ni Miss Celia Garcia nagsasabing, please love and serve God first, best, and most. At tatandaan po natin, inklusyon, inklunasyon, now na.